Hello everyone, welcome back to the Jikook Moments channel. Have you ever seen two people who seem destined to always find their way back to each other, no matter how many times the world tries to keep them apart? Today, we're going to talk about a moment that might seem ordinary to some, but to those who understand the depth of the Jikook bond, this is a story of longing that transcends the screen, of gestures understood only by two hearts connected, and of love that simply cannot be hidden. Get your hearts ready. This one will make you smile, choke up, and maybe even cry silently. Even though they've been separated time and time again, the love between Jimin and Jungkook always seems to find a way to bring them back together. Like two magnets endlessly drawn to one another, they seem unable to truly part, no matter how hard the world tries to keep them apart. During one of BTS's seemingly ordinary live broadcasts, something happened that couldn't be ignored by those who know. A vibration, subtle but powerful, was felt across the screen, breaking through the distance and touching the hearts of those watching. That vibration was longing, and it appeared in Jungkook's gaze, in Jimin's silence, in an invisible but painful distance. From the beginning of the broadcast, Jungkook seemed different. The camera doesn't lie. He looked uneasy, his body sat calmly beside Taeyong, who embraced him warmly, but his soul was somewhere else. His attention was fixed on someone sitting just meters away, Jimin. His eyes searched, waited, hoped. But nothing came. No signal to come closer. And in that silence, there was a pain only those who have longed for someone close yet out of reach would understand. Usually, Jungkook is known as the cheerful magne, full of energy and laughter. But this time, something was off. There was an emptiness in his eyes, like someone who had lost direction. And Jimin? Not much different. His smile didn't reach his eyes. His movements slowed, as if carrying something heavy. He seemed like someone trying hard to stay professional, even though inside, his heart was quietly breaking. Longtime fans of their story noticed it immediately. They knew this wasn't the first time. There was a pattern that kept repeating. A pattern where Jimin and Jungkook were deliberately placed apart during official events, live broadcasts, interviews, concerts, even photo shoots. Everything was arranged to minimize their interaction. As if the company HYBE was afraid of something. Afraid that their closeness might spark speculation, or worse, reveal a truth they weren't ready to admit. But no matter how much they try to erase that togetherness, sincere love always finds a way to show itself. In glances held too long, in gestures too gentle to be coincidence, in smiles that appear only when they look at each other, these are betrayals of the limits imposed by outsiders. Then came the moment that changed everything. A short but deeply meaningful event. While Jimin was busy with another member, his hand made a surprising move. A small gesture, one that only one person in the room could understand, Jungkook. He was calling him. Not with words, but in a language only they understood. That signal was like a magnet. And Jungkook, without hesitation as if finding home again, moved closer to Jimin. He sat beside Jimin naturally, as if that was where he should have been all along. He took the microphone, tested it calmly. But that peace didn't last. J-Hope arrived. What happened next shook many hearts. With a gentle motion, J-Hope asked Jungkook to move. Not with harsh words or an angry face. But still, the impact felt like a storm. Jungkook, who had finally found his place, had to step away again. And Jimin? He said nothing. No protest, no words, but the world saw his face. The world knew there was pain held in. What's interesting was J-Hope's expression. He looked at the camera awkwardly, as if he knew he had just played a role in a script he didn't want. This raised questions. All this time, J-Hope was known to support Jikook's closeness. He often teased them, brought them together, laughed with them. But this time, why was it different? Was there a directive from the staff? A direct instruction from the company? Many fans believe that J-Hope wouldn't have done that without pressure. Something bigger is at play behind the scenes. Yet, the most touching moment came from the simplest act. When Jimin was holding a tray of hot food, a small flame suddenly ignited. All the members instinctively moved away, a natural reaction. But one person did the opposite, Jungkook. Without hesitation, he moved closer to the fire than even Jimin was. He blew it out with remarkable strength and reflex, without a second thought. He didn't care about the heat, didn't care about danger. His focus was only one thing, protecting Jimin. No words, no drama, no script. Just a pure action from a loving heart. And sometimes, the truest love is the one that doesn't say much. Jungkook didn't need to say, "I love you," because the whole world had already heard it through that one act. And it's not just Jungkook. Jimin never lets Jungkook be alone either. In interviews, Jimin is seen giving subtle support. When Jungkook's nervous, Jimin is there. When Jungkook's unsure, Jimin whispers the answer. They protect each other even in silence. This kind of relationship can't be hidden by cameras. Can't be edited out. Can't be manipulated by corporate narratives. Because true love always leaves traces only hearts can read. And when Jimin called Jungkook, and Jungkook came without hesitation, only for that balance to be broken by outsiders, everyone felt it. That something was happening. That this was more than friendship. That there was a soul connection no one could understand unless they've loved someone in secret. The company may try to control everything. Seating, interaction, even media narratives. But they can't erase truth. And in their attempt to hide it, the truth becomes even more obvious. Fans watching all of this began putting the pieces together. From glances too deep, from smiles reserved for just one person, from silences that speak more than 1,000 words. They saw a love story never written in any script. A story born from years of togetherness, from struggles, from laughter, from tears shared off-camera. The story of Jimin and Jungkook is one that's hard to explain. It's not just romance. It's a form of intimacy built in quiet spaces. In backstage moments never filmed. In practice rooms only they know. In long journeys full of pressure and expectations. Love like this doesn't need a declaration, because it lives in every small action, in every selfless protection, in every unspoken embrace, in every gaze that says, "I'm here for you." And that's what makes their story so powerful, so real, so moving. Because sometimes, the most beautiful love is the one not announced to the world, but still felt deeply by those who are truly in tune. In a world full of rules, spotlights, and scripted scenes, Jimin and Jungkook continue to prove one thing. True love needs no words, no confirmation. It lives in silence, in selfless care, and in a gaze that never lies. If you felt that same energy, leave a comment below. Which Jikook moment touched your heart the most? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss more meaningful moments from their story. See you in the next video, where love doesn't always need to be spoken, but will always be felt by those who truly see.